Hey, everybody, welcome to the America, Guns, and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just an open chat. You decide the topics, you ask the questions, suggest whatever you want to hear about. I will do my best to answer whatever comes in. If I can't, there's over 100 people in the live chat. Maybe one of them knows. They do know things, believe it or not. So pay attention to the live chats. They might have the answers you're looking for. Get involved in the live chats. Chat amongst each other. Develop some camaraderie. That's why we do this every day. It's a place people can gather. You don't have to be here every day, but you know that you could if you wanted, and there'll be people here, like-minded people with common interests that you can come talk to and even disagree on some things. So like I said, feel free to ask whatever you want, suggest whatever topic you want. I'll do my best to address it. If not, maybe the people in the live chat will be able to. I like to always start off by reading orders that we've received over the last 24 hours because those people, when they order stuff, help support TYMP, like the be a sheepdog, not a sheep. And I'm not even a big fan of the sheepdog principle, but I just like the way it sounds, and I wanted to do a drawing with the sheepdog from Warner Brothers on it. Sam. I had a dog named after him and Yosemite Sam. First off, like I said, I want to read the orders. I don't think I read the orders from yesterday. We got a car magnet sold to Sean Coleman. I'm reading these from yesterday. I may have already read them. I'm sorry if I did. Sam Mance. Oh, no, I sent him. That was me sending him a T-shirt because he's a member of the Pets and Vet supporter tier. So he gets that exclusive T-shirt. That was me sending that. Then we got Timothy French, got the We Used to Shoot Nazis shirt, and they actually produced it. So I'm glad that that's actually being made. The Heasley. Oh, no, wait, that's not an order. Hold on. Zachary Loyas. He got himself a Where's the Kaboom and Be Kind to Animals T-shirt. And Trent Gordon, he got a car magnet. The Guns Don't Kill People, or the government does, which is one of the bootleg trilogy of the King of the Hill, which I'm afraid might be going away soon. So if you want those, get them, because I don't know when they're going to go away. Or if ever, they might be there forever for all I know. Feel free to gamble if you want. With that being said, let's move on. Remember, if you want to become a supporter of the channel, this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't do discount codes. We don't do promotions. We don't do advertising. We don't take sponsors. We don't take money from pro-gun groups. It's all you guys that make everything happen. So if you want to be part of it and you want to support it, you want to be part of the posse, you want to be part of Pets and Vets, you want to be part of TYMP, well, there's multiple ways you can do that. You can find all those ways over at TYMPpistolproject.com. Go over there. You can sign up to be a patron on patreon.com to support Pets and Vets. You can sign up to support TYMP or Pets and Vets on subscribestar.com. And you can support Pets and Vets by buying merch. There's links there to my merch store where you can go buy merchandise. That does help support TYMP. Or you can register to be a beneficiary of TYMP. Head on over there. With that being said, let's get started on the questions. I got one question that just popped in here on the YouTube side, so let's answer that one first. George Powell says, today's vid, why would anyone want to counter-protest people protesting a dictator? Why wasn't the advice to join them? When are people protesting authoritarian called toddlers? You're scaring me, Yank. Oh, no, I'm just saying that a lot of the people that hang on and actually cause the problems, if you just ignore them, they just go away. They tire themselves out. If you're afraid, oh, there's going to be danger or violence, well, usually not unless you confront them. Well, except for the people that are violent and going to cause trouble, and you can't do nothing about those people anyway. So you just ignore them. That's the way I feel about all people who go out and protest. They will just let them have their say. All this counter protest, organized counter protest, all this stuff, just let people have their say. And when you try to counter protest, etc., you just make their point more important. and that's fine if you agree with them. But if you agree with them, you wouldn't be counter protesting them. But like, say Nazis are showing up today to talk downtown, and there's going to be like 10 of them, and they're going to talk for 20 minutes, and then they're going to wander away when no one's paying attention to them. That's what you want to happen. If you show up and 50 people surround them, well, then the cops get involved. It's a big show. They got their day on the news. They got their message out there. It's just best when you don't agree. And let's face it, a lot of the Trump people and a lot of the conservatives don't agree with the No Kings protest. They think that it's an attack on Trump. Whether they think it's an unjustified attack on Trump. So I want the people who don't agree. And that's like I said today, do you really want to be there being seen like, they don't want a king. I'm angry about that. Or, they want separation of powers. I'm mad about that. No, you don't want to be there. And I saw so many people talking about, we need to organize a rally. We need to organize a counter protest. Here's a picture of all the pickup trucks with Trump flags getting ready to show up there. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to be seen as we're anti-no kings? We're anti-no dictators. That just makes no sense. That feeds into the fascist narrative. If you're that easily provoked into you can think this is an attack on you and Trump, well, then you're obviously afraid that Trump's a dictator, which you should be. You should be vigilant against that kind of thing always, no matter who's in charge. I had a lot of people contacting me and I'm like, so you're saying we don't need to be vigilant about that right now because your guy's in charge? That makes no fucking sense. So my advice is stay out of it unless you're there to support it. I mean, I didn't say anything about not going to it if you're supporting it. If you're a supporter of it, show up. I don't think protests do all that much good anymore, but show up. Have a good time. I mean, sell hot dogs, popcorn, whatever. A lot of people will have a lot of fun, I bet. But the counter protesting and the further division and the just feeding the fight and feeding the division, all you're doing is giving ammunition to the other side and to the 1%ers that are in charge that want to make both sides look bad and want both sides to keep fighting. Why would anyone want to get in their pickup truck, throw their Trump flag on it, and show up there like, yeah, you don't want any kings? Well, I'm against that. That doesn't make sense to me. But it's making a lot of sense to a lot of people for some reason. But I say don't feed that narrative. Stay away. Let them have their say. Let them do their thing. Whether you agree with people or not, just let them have their say. It's like BLM, their stuff. If people hadn't started a nationwide crusade to make it seem like this was the greatest threat the country'd ever faced, it would have faded out in a couple of weeks. But instead, it went on for months because people just kept antagonizing and insinuating, and putting the spotlight on our differences instead of just letting people have their say. And it just makes things worse. And nobody wins except for the 1% who want to maintain that, division and that anger and that conflict. That's the only people that win. So wake the fuck up. Like that guy says, yeah, I should ignore them. Other than they show up at my door. I'm like, do you really think that the No Kings protesters are going to show up at your door? Why? Do you have a I support our king banner in your front yard or something? Or are you just being hysterical? Just let people have their fucking say. It's not an attack on you. It's an attack on the system, or not even an attack on the system. It's to make awareness of the system. And right now, let's face facts. It's the first time presidents ever tried to put into a bill that they are immune to court demands. That's not a good thing. You should be really outraged by that. You should be demanding that's taken out of the budget bill. If you're not, well, then maybe you don't care about kings as much as you think you do. And I found a lot of people don't care about the Constitution, except for when it benefits them. Like, I want to own a machine gun, so I think the Second Amendment's really important. Well, until the black people show up at the park with guns, and then you're like, well, they ought to do something about that. Well, I think protest and speech is important when it's you talking about what you want people to hear. But when someone else is talking about something you don't like, well, you need to round them up. They need to go there and bust them up. So it's just, America's just a bunch of fucking lazy ass fucking hypocrites. It gets on my nerves. George Powell says a military parade for his birthday tomorrow. Is he a dictator yet? I don't like the whole parade thing. And yes, I know it is the anniversary of the military, but we don't do those in this country. That's something dictators do. And plus, wasn't he a draft dodger? I would think he would avoid the whole military discussion. I mean, he's a billionaire, didn't go to war because he had bone spurs, but he still played sports. And I've never seen any record that he really has bone spurs. Is just paying doctors to get rich people from having to go overseas. So I've never understood his fascination with the military when he did everything he could to not be part of it. We should. I don't think if you're going to talk about your military, if you're going to be so tied to the military as a politician, well, then you better have a better military career than I do. And mine ain't fancy. Mine ain't special. So it ain't hard. But if yours is even worse than mine, like you're a fucking draft dodger, well, then shut the fuck up. And they don't care about military service anyway. I mean, Kerry was a veteran. They didn't care about that. They were more than happy to have him slandered. So people are just fucking hypocrites, and it gets on my nerves. Where was I? I was babbling. Let's get over here to the live chat. Oh, no. Stay logged in. Stay logged in. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see what's coming in today. Today is the 13th. Let's see if we got any juicy topics. James Keefe did his recurring monthly payment, but that didn't say nothing. Sean Bain said, go with enamel on the stock. That's advice. I will take that into account. I'm thinking of doing enamel on it. Of course, then I got to use an enamel-based sealant on the stock, but that's not a problem either, as long as no one sets it on fire while it's still wet. Jose Vega, I almost said Josie Vega. I said, John Moses Browning, legacy style. The designs are still in daily use across police, military, and civilian circles. He's saying that John Moses Browning is the most important gun designer ever. That was our first topic today. And he weighed in over here because he doesn't understand the rules. John Heasley weighed in. And says, to win my stock, I will have my Ruger LC carbine 10 millimeter in 2 weeks when I get paid, jerk. But speaking of the stock, here is my last test engraving for the design. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but that's the Mickey Mouse design that's going to be on the stock. And then, of course, it'll all be painted in black. And then the collar will be put on top of the black to give it more depth. And then it'll all be sealed. You'll have a custom stock there. Custom 1022, a TYMP 1022. So if you want to get a chance to win that, you just got to do a donation to the Pets and Vets Fund of $10 or more through PayPal. And that gets you an entry. Also gets you 3 entries into the Silver Bullet drawing when you do that. So if everybody wants to get entered, get on over there and do a donation. You can also do a one-time donation through the website. I need to put a link over there to get entered into the stock drawing. I haven't done that. We've been busy trying to figure out how to use the laser engraver. But as you can see, I figured it out. I figured out how to do it. People think I'm too old to learn how to do it. I figured it out. Although I think I might have forgotten how to wipe properly because, if I learn something new, I got to forget something old. So it could be a risk there. All right, let me see what I was talking here. That's the copyright-free Mickey Mouse. Yes, that is the Steamboat Willie Mickey. You got the tail, the boot, the shoes are right. No gloves. The royalty-free Mickey does not have gloves. He didn't have gloves yet back then. That's why his hands will be black. Oh, black hands Mickey. That sounds racist. All right, let me get back to the chat over here. That was John Heasley, by the way. Then we got Clinton Barella. chimed in. He just wants to win the stock. He got himself multiple entries today into the stock drawing. He's really pushing to win that stock. And he's by far in the lead right now, I do believe. Dale Rickety. So everybody's got to team up on him like they did John. Well, no, he hasn't won. Did he win something else? I don't know. He didn't win 2 guns in a row. I know that. Or did he win a gun? Because if he did and he won this one, that would be 2 guns in a row. But I don't think he did. Dale Rickety also chimed in and says, if you collect SSI and are a righty, do not keep the money the government sends you. Give it to me. This will give you great joy not to participate in this evil socialist bullshit. That is all. Yeah, but that's on. They only hate government programs when it doesn't affect them. There's a very famous picture of someone at a tea, one of those tea bag rallies, whatever they were, and she's holding up a sign that someone obviously made for her because they're trying to make political points. It's holding up a sign that said, keep your government hands off my Medicare. And I'm like, that's a government program, you dumb bitch. But yeah, people are they're ignorant and they're hypocrites. So they don't even care if they're right. But yes, anybody who doesn't want to accept their unemployment, their Social Security, any other types of payments they get from the government like that, food stamps even, send them to me. I'll make use of them. You should make a stand against the government and send me that money. Don't send it to Dale Rickety. He'll blow it on pudding. Pudding and Jamaican nurses. That's what he'll spend it on. Per Gustafsson says, what will be your next gun? Ooh, I don't even have a gun in my sights right now. Especially after my sister wrecking the car yesterday. Last thing I'm thinking about right now is going out and spending money on a gun. It's not my top priority right now. There's other things I need first. I want a new TV for Father's Day, so I'm working on that right now. My kids should be able to afford me a new TV. There's one at Costco. It's only $1,550. It's 100-inch. Oh, what was the name of it? Not Vizio. Hisense. And I did all the research on it, and even Consumer Reports and all the other companies say Hisense is making some of the better screens right now. If you get their U6 and up screens, U6, U7, and U8, they're as good as other screens. They seem to last just as long. They're just as well made, but they're a lot cheaper because you're not paying for the name as much. And Costco doesn't usually sell crap. And buying it right now, if you buy it, it comes with a 5-year warranty from Costco. A no fault, we replace it if something happens to it, warranty from Costco for free. So they should be able to afford $1,500 between them. I will even pay $550 of it if they pay the other $1,000. If everybody else gets together, I'll chip in even. I want that TV. 100-inch TV. I'm having to watch a shitty 85-inch TV. Like a poor person. Let's see here. Where was I at? I don't know what I was just griping about. Oh, guns. I don't got any gun on the horizon right now. I'm hoping it will be one of the new Smith & Wessons in the 32. One of the new J-frames that have the 6 rounds of 32. I'm hoping it'll be one of them. One of them there. The ones that don't have a lock, and all that stuff. So, but I haven't even seen one in person yet. Hopefully I'll see one in person soon, but it hasn't happened yet. Pour my soda here and we'll get back to the questions. All right. That was Paul Bidenbach was asking me that. No, that was Per Gustafsson, wasn't it? Which one just asked me that? No, it's Paul Bidenbach says, I know you believe in civil disobedience. He said, hail Phil. I know you believe in civil disobedience. What if someone commits a serious crime at that time? Does that make you an accessory to that crime? What do you mean if someone commits a serious crime at that time? You mean like you schedule a protest or a sit-in or something, and all the cops are there, and then someone, takes that opportunity to rob a jewelry store? If this was a comic book and on the other end of town, well, no, you're not in any way responsible for that. You doing your thing and your civil duty is not in any way. It's not in any way reflective on you when other people take advantage of that, because there will always be bad people taking advantage when good people try to do the right thing. So no, you're not responsible for that at all. If I'm understanding your question right, I may not be understanding your question right, but then we got Mike Rogana chiming in. The DOJ Civil Rights Division submitted an amicus brief in 7th Circuit supporting 2A against Illinois assault weapon ban. It won't change appeals court ultimate decision, but it's a start. It's nothing really. That's when they just file amicus briefs. That's what the NRA does all the time. If they're filing a suit, they are saying, hey, today the Justice Department is taking the state of blah, blah to court because of their unconstitutional law, well, then it don't mean much. It's worth about spitting the wind. You might as well spit in the wind. It'd be more valuable than that, I think. But that was Mike Rogana, and that was the last one of those. Now let me see if we got any emails coming in. Hold on. Let me see. I got some stuff over here. I don't know if I need to see that. I will be here at 6 p.m. Come on in. Unless he's meaning he needs another like me to be here at a special time in the afternoon. I don't know if that'll work. Okay. I got all the emails open here I want to share that we got sent to me. All right. First email here. Winder. There we go. Share. Let me close that. Go Shadow says picture said the baby bird's eyes are open. As you can see right there, his eyes are open. God, they're fucking ugly. Birds when their babies are so fucking ugly. Unless they got to run or swim right off the bat, like chicks or ducks. Those are cute. They're little fluffy things. But birds that fly, that are just flyers, that don't have to, they build their nests in trees. They're ugly as fuck. I make him show me pictures along the way of their development to make sure he doesn't eat them, in case people are wondering why. Because otherwise, I have a feeling he would eat them. This came from Leonidas1236, which he's not. That's not right. He got a Ruger P89, new edition. I used to have one of. I think I had one of those. That was a nice gun, a tank. I think the only thing I didn't like about it is the edge right here was really sharp on the safety. Other than that, it was a fine gun. Jacobe just chimed in and says, what gun will you carry when, if you visit Japan? I don't think any. They have a very strict no handguns, the rule, don't they? They're very anti-gun. I don't think I'll be carrying anything to Japan. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. Let me share the next email here. This is from Frank Rodriguez. Yank, Itali has introduced a new airline policy that allows large dogs to travel in airplane cabins alongside their owners. I wish that was the case here, because then I could just fly my mom and her dog everywhere. Nowadays, it's almost impossible to fly with a dog. It's hard. And she won't go nowhere without her dog. We got another coming in here from Teddy Two Guns. This is a scary picture. What is that? You're missing something on the wall there. Guns don't kill people. The government does. He's got his Dale Gribble shirt there. And I don't know what he's doing there. It's reversed, so it looks a little weird. Looks like he's... You all know what he's doing. But yeah, what's with those sunglasses and that hat? Is he in a public restroom? What's going on there? And then we got an email here from George Powell that says, she is back. It only took 2 months to replace a screw. Well, yeah, I don't know why you sent it back for that. I don't know why you didn't just find the screw or order a new screw and put it in. That seemed like it's a little crazy to me. George Powell might be crazy, but he's got his gun back. Hope they put a little Loctite on it so it don't come out again. All right, that should get us all caught up with everything. Let me make sure we're still caught up with all the super chats. Microgina was the last one. Nope, we got one more in from Johnny Mandrich here before we can get to the live chat. I'm picking up a CZP09 Nocturne Saturday Hail Fill. Yeah, they just got one in at Sporting Systems, I saw. I kind of wish they'd got that in before. That was kind of the gun Caden was looking at. But he went with a different gun. But and I'll tell you what that is eventually. I just didn't got around to it. I've been burnt out. Haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. Just do this and that's it. I even missed an online meeting for a policy thing about fighting for gun rights here in the state. Well, I missed that the other day because I just couldn't bring myself to show up and listen. So yeah. All right, that gets us all caught up here. Wait, did I read what he said? What did he say? Oh, he's picking up the Nocturne. He's a fucking bitch too, because I didn't get a new gun. Why does he get a new gun? Pissing me off. We got one more super chat coming in here from Josie Vega again. Yank. I also asked a question on my email about the P89. Maybe it was too small. Hey, it must have been. I didn't see it. Hold on. Let me find it. What does the question say? I'm also thinking of doing a mirror finish. I'm also thinking of doing a mirror finish to it, but I've never done anything like that. How do you suggest I do it? Oh, well, that would be simple. That gun's not got a lot of, well, you got a little bit of, there's some machine marks down there at the front of it and everything that you're going to have to deal with. That's easy. Get yourself some sandpaper and just go to town right there. Some wet, dry sandpaper, put a little oil on it or water and just sand till the machine marks are gone. And then just start polishing. Get yourself some stainless steel polish, some Mother's Mag polish. Just start with a old cotton t-shirt. Just start doing your rubbing it on, rubbing it off, rubbing it on, rubbing it off. And you'll get there. It might take you a little while, but you'll get there. I assume you're just doing the slide. Where's my, oh, hit that. There's a button you hit on the side that makes the mouse move really slow. I don't like it. But that was Josie Vega. Come on, get back to my page. There it went. Okay. Now I can get back over here to the regular chat. All right. 22. Wait, is that the last chat I had? First chat? Oh, no, I got to go up. Jose Santiago. I love your channel. Well, that makes me think you have questionable tastes, to be honest. Let's see, where am I at? You saw the good update on Bubbles. He has his surgery today and is home now doing well. I did not see it. I haven't been able to check anything online today. I've been too busy dealing with insurance and laser engravers and all that other shit. But that's good to hear. Very good to hear. I didn't take you for a Subpop guy. You a Mudhoney fan? Burn it clean. I do not understand any of that conversation. I did not understand any of that. Let's see. I don't look like there's a lot of questions over here. A 22-year-old Wisconsin man died from an asthma attack because the cost of his Advare discus inhaler jumped overnight from $70 per month to $500 per month. Yes, medicine should not be a for-profit industry because then there's no incentive to cure anyone, just maintain treatment. He's going to blow his junk off. Yeah, I agree. He's going to blow his junk off. I'd rather not. Well, if you're going to blow your junk off, I want you to be wearing one of my t-shirts when you do it. So that if there's any publicity or anyone takes pictures of your corpse, I want them to be like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? So it would be a tragedy if someone blew their junk off and didn't have one of my shirts on. Burgundy Point use. Some people say that 7-shot revolvers are a perversion. Does owning a 686 plus make you a pervert? And does barrel length factor into this? I don't think that anybody says that. At least not to me, because they know they'll get such a pinch. I'll bite their nose off. They say that to me. I reject that premise from the very beginning. What would your last meal be? I already answered that. Unicorn steaks with a side order of mermaid scales. Bubbles, Michael Jackson's chimp? No, not Michael Jackson's chimp. Is he still alive? I think Bubbles is still alive. He's probably traumatized. The things he's seen. Macaulay Culkin might have him murdered just to keep him quiet. But I don't know. I think he's still alive. You're wearing a Sugar Pop hat. That is what I was referencing. Oh, Subpop. I don't know what it means. Someone gave me the hat, free hat. It looks like a flag. I don't know what it means really, though. I should probably look it up. What is fucking Subpop? Because I just wear free hats when people send them to me. And if I don't recognize it as something hateful, I don't wear. What is Subpop? Is that a band? Subpop? Oh, no, it's a record label. Well, do they make anybody? Do they have anyone I like? I like different music. They might have somebody I like or some people I like. I don't know. It's a band. I mean, it's a record label. Looks like. But no, it's free hat. That's what this is. It's a free hat. Nirvana is their biggest band. Oh, I wasn't a Nirvana fan. I never was a fan of Nirvana. I think the best thing that ever happened for their careers was him blowing his brains out because they would have just faded away, just like most of the grunge bands did. It's a Seattle record label. Yeah, I just figured that out. Nirvana is their biggest band. Yep. I'm not about Nirvana fan, but I'm sure there's other stuff they have I would like. I never was big for a band or Nirvana. I never found them that talented. I think it was only because a lot of the grungers thought he was cute. That was the reason I think he was popular. But I don't think. I don't think they were very good. What do you think about Senator Alex Padilla screaming at that dog killer, Kristi Noem? Well, I don't know if I don't know the circumstances or if it was warranted that you be really causing a ruckus at that moment. Was it an open forum? Was it what? I don't like people being handcuffed and drug out of public meetings. If it was a public town hall kind of a thing, just because you're talking against the person on the stage. And I don't know what he was saying. Now, if he was screaming dog killer at her and threw some dog shit at her, I'd be 100% on his side. But I don't know what the actual... Alice in Chains is all right. Someone just mentioned them. But yeah, I don't know what was really going on. The full circle, I don't think that it was warranted what happened unless he was being really dangerous. But, and I have a hard time thinking someone named Alex Padilla was being all that dangerous. But like I said, if he would have been screaming dog killer and throwing dog feces at her, then I'd be 100% on his side. I'm not quite sure how to help you. I'm not talking to you. But let me go here and make sure I think we're out of chats. That's okay because we're out of time. Let me make sure we're caught up on all the supers before we get out of here. Josie Vega was the last one. Last one over here was Jacobe, Japan. But thanks everybody for coming today. I appreciate it. Thanks for getting involved in the conversation, asking questions. Thanks to people who participated in our fundraiser. Thanks to people who helped support the channel. I appreciate it. I hope to see y'all again here tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again. I'm going to go back and start working more on the engravings. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.